So we watched it.
Plenty.
Okay. I expected no less of you. I set my hair in the middle of the thing.
It's like 20 years, right? Something like that. 25 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna make a note, but there's no pen.
Can you pull this out? Page 332. Yedid nefesh Avarachaman Yishochatecha El Ritzonecha Yarutz Avtecha Kimo Ayam Yishtachaveh El Muhadoracha Yeravno Yedidutecha Menofetzu Mefotam Adonai Zivolam Nafshi Chorat Amatecha Ana Elna Refanana Deharota Noam Zibcha Azitazeh Petitrape Behaitala Shimchat Olam Yadadai dai 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 Yadadai dai 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 Yadadai dai 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 Yadadai dai dai Yadadai dai 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 Yadadai dai 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 Yadadai dai 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 Yadadai dai 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 Yadadai dai 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 Verse 3. Vatikefemu narachamecha v'chusana al benagulecha tizekama nixok nifsafti lirot tieret uzacha anaheli emdat livi usana ve'anati talam igalena ufros habibi alai et sukat shelomecha tahir eretz lifkodecha nagila v'nismecha maherahu tivamoed ve'ponenu kimeolam yadadai-dai-dai-dai 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 yadadai-dai-dai yadadai-dai-dai-dai yadadai-dai-dai-dai
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to our services here at Temple Sinai. I'm Rabbi Benjamin Zober, and next to me,
Rabbi Sarah Zober, and welcome.
we are so glad that you have decided to bring in Shabbat with us on this festive evening. Hopefully, everyone is not sick of turkey yet, because if you are like we are, you have got many days of leftovers still to come. So we will see.
We're making soup.
There you go. We're super. Yeah. How many different ways can we
make a turkey? Yes.
But wherever you are and whatever it is that you've had to eat for the last 2 days and for the next 4 days, we are so glad that you've decided to join us here for our services this evening. Welcome everyone out there who is on the internet, wherever you are, far and wide. We will begin our services this evening. We are using Mishkan Tefillah. If you are online and would like to download our Siddur, you can do it at sinaireno.org/live. We turn to page 6 for an opening reading. We read together at the top of the page, "We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured. A beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer." We actually turn backwards to our page 2 for our Shabbat candle lighting, and it is our pleasure to invite up Rosie to light our Shabbat candles this evening.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של Shabbat. Thank you.
Thank you.
We now turn to page 20 for Lecha Dodi. As is our custom, we will be singing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And on the 9th and final verse, please rise in body or in spirit, face our exterior doors as we bow, Bawi Kala, come, O bride, and welcome the Sabbath bride into our midst. Oh, that's right. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmianu el hamichad. Adonai echad, Ushmo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litehila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki mekor habracha. Merosh mikedem nesucha, Sof maaseh b'machshavah techila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitorari, Ki ba'orech u'mi'ori, Uri, shir daberi, Kevod Adonai elayich nigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'b'tzola. Toch emunei am zula, Boi chala. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela.
You may be seated. We turn now to page 26 and continue together with Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabba. V'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei.
B'chayechon u'yom echon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Bagala u'bizmahan kariv
V'meru
Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam u'lo me'omaya yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitzaleh v'yithalal shmei dekudesha
B'richu
Leila min kol birchata v'shirata
tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma.
V'meru.
Amen.
We turn to page 28, and if you are able, please rise for the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
We can get together in the Hebrew on page 30. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chochma poteach she'arim,
Uvitvuna mishanei itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla, Adonai tziva'ot shemo, El chai v'kayam, Tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim.
Ahavat Olam can be found on the next page.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael. Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadata, Otanu limadata. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shofenu, U'kmeinu nasiach b'chukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, U'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, ve'orach yomeinu, U'lahem negeh yomam v'layla, negeh yomam v'layla. Shema can be found on the next page. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated. We continue on page 36 with V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam livanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'shachbecha u'kumecha u'kshartam laot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'hisharecha leman tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem mi'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. We turn now to page 39 and we read responsively. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot.
That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt. That there is a better place, a promised land. That the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness.
That there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Micha Mocha can be found on the very next page.
Yabba bim bim bam, yabba bim bam, yabba bim bim bam, yabba bim bam, yai dai 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 dai, yabba bim bam, yai dai 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 dai, yabba bim bam. Mi chamocha, bayanim Adonai. Kamocha, Nedar Makodesh, Noratilot, Osefela, Noratilot, Osefela. Malachutacha, Ra'uvanecha, Bokeh Ayam Lifnei, Moshe u'Miriam, Zeli, Zeli, Anu ve'amaro, Adonai lo, le'olam va'ed. Yabba bim bim bam, yabba bim bam, yabba bim bim bam, yabba bim bam, yai dai 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 dai, yabba bim bam. Yai dai 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 dai, yabba bim bam. V'nemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miad chazak mimenu, baruch ata Adonai, gal Yisrael.
We read together at the top of page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Vishamru can be found on the very next page.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Beini ubein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Ubayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. You can take the kid out of camp, but you can't take the camp out of kid, huh?
You cannot.
Definitely cannot. You're going to do it every
It's
time.
a thing now.
Yeah.
Yes. This
He's
is
been
how-
trying to make this a thing for everywhere.
Look, like one generation's keva is another generation's kavanah. That almost, but I mean, we say it in jest, but
Yeah.
most, if not all of the things that are a part of our service at one time were a spontaneous prayer
Mhm.
or something that someone added in because they were moved and touched by something. And now they've become fixed. They've become things that we know as anchors of our worship and pieces that the world over we go to and we will recognize. That you can go to any synagogue in the world and there are things that we do here that will sound very familiar. Other things might not be as familiar, but rest assured, if you go to a camp, that one you'll get.
Yeah. We turn together to page 46 and we rise in body or in spirit for the Amidah.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi gita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומרין הגשם, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ברופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו, משני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומגדול מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצליח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. At the top of page 53, days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Continue silently to page 62. Please be seated when you are finished or when you feel ready.
Lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yilmedu od milchama, lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yilmedu od milchama, lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yilmedu od milchama, lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yilmedu od milchama, lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yilmedu od milchama.
We turn at this time to Seder Kriyat HaTorah, our Torah service this evening. We begin at the bottom of page 245. Happy is the one who finds wisdom, the one who gains understanding, for its value is greater than silver, its yield than fine gold. It is more precious than rubies. No treasure can match it. It is our pleasure and honor to invite up Natalie Sarah to open our Ark this evening and Mark Rosenberg to carry our Torah. We all turn to page 246, and we ask you, if you are able, to please rise.
Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, u'davar Adonai mirushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai Iti, Ramama Shemo Yachdav, Lecha Adonai Hadula, V'Hagevura, V'Hatiferet, V'Hanetzach, V'Hahod, Ki cho b'shamayim u'va'aretz, Ki cho b'shamayim u'va'aretz, Adonai hamamacha, V'yamid na'aseh l'chol erosh. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehakodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehakodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehakodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehakodsho. You may be seated. This week we've been reading from Parshat Toldot. I will be reading just the very beginning of it for us this evening, Genesis chapter 25, verses 19 to 21. All of our Torah study folks are probably tickled pink because now we're coming back through the sections of Genesis that we studied with one another last year, or I think in this case 2 years ago. That's my plug for Torah study. Come to Torah study. We are reaching the very end of the book of Genesis, and you can always jump in at the end of book of Genesis and join us for Exodus, Leviticus, and Deuteronomy, and Numbers, even Numbers. It is my pleasure to invite up our friend who is back in town for a very short time, Nick Hummel, for tonight's Aliyah. Ya'amad Yaakov David ben Avraham la'Aliyah. Show you where we're starting, okay. This is yours.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
Baruch Adonai Hamrach Le'olam Vaed.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Amen. ואלה תולדות יצחק בן אברהם. אברהם הוליד את יצחק. ויהי יצחק בן 40 שנה. בקחתו את רבקה בת בתואל הארמי מפדן ארם, אחות לבן הארמי לו לאישה. ויתר יצחק לאדוני לנוכח אשתו, כי עקרה היא. ויתר לו אדוני ותר רבקה אשתו.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי העולם נתן בחוקנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Shkoyach, friend, and I have a special blessing for you. Misha berach avotenu v'imotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah. May the one who blessed our ancestors and your and my parents, Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless you for coming up to Torah for the honor of God and Torah. May you merit from the Holy One of blessing, protection, rescue from any trouble or distress, and from any illness, minor or serious. May God send blessing and success in your every endeavor and bring you home frequently. And together we say, Amen. Shkoyach. At this time, with the Sefer Torah in our midst, we think of those in our community who are in need of a bit of healing, whether that be of body or of spirit. If you are online, please feel free to put the names that you feel comfortable in the comments. At this time, we're thinking of Wendy Alderman, Kathy Bartlett, Tracy Bartlett, Sue Burkhammer, Neil Calder, Laura Cohen, Alan Gordon, Stephen Gold, Marlene Harris, Harvey Higdon, Laura Jawad, Kevin Knox, Harav Miriam bat Shifra v'Pinchas, Harav Miriam Yael Chaya bat Sarah, Tim Ober, Ruth Petersky, Judy Ramos, Peter Ramos, Ray Riker, Shirley Retkovitz, Sarah bat Chava, Marianne Schenker, Jessica Wadutz, Bobby Wells, and Usher Zalech. Of course, we also remember everyone affected by the coronavirus and the Jewish and other communities of the Ukraine. If there are other names that you'd like to add and you're here in person, please do so as my hand sweeps over you. For all the names that we've said aloud, for the names in the comments, and those whose names remain in our hearts, our song for healing can be found on page 253. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBaracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. It is my pleasure to invite up Matt Lakoff to help me with Hagbah and Glila. We all rise. Can you grab the parochet over here? Thank you. Yeah, can you grab the mantle there? Thank you. Vezot HaTorah asher san Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai biyad Moshe. Yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai dai. Yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai. Vezot HaTorah asher san Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai biyad Moshe. We turn to page 257 and we read responsively. When Torah entered the world, freedom entered it. The whole Torah exists only to establish peace.
Its highest teaching is love and kindness. What is hateful to you, do not do to any person.
That is the whole Torah. All the rest is commentary. Go and learn it. Those who study Torah are the true guardians of civilization.
Honoring one another, doing acts of kindness, and making peace. These are our highest duties. But the study of Torah is equal to them all because it leads to them all.
Let us learn in order to teach. Let us learn in order to do. Middle of page 256. Ki lekachtot natati lahem Torati al ta'azovu. Es chaim hi lamachazikim ba betomcha meushar deracheha dorchenu bechol netivoteha shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadish Chadish Yomenu Kekedem. Thank you. You may be seated.
What was it like for Jacob to watch his father fail? What did it mean for him when the man who did not tell his son, fairy tales, but stories of Abraham and Sarah, of Noah and Adam and Eve, stories of a vision of the future, began to lose the only vision that he had, his eyes beginning to dim. What was it like for Esau, the rough, strong young man that his father loved, perhaps because he was so unlike him, or perhaps because he was outwardly strong where his father had it inside? How was it for him when this skilled hunter saw his father, who perhaps boasted of digging well after well, became confined to his tent, unable to make his way around the camp? And what did these sons do when their father admitted that he was nearing the end of his life? To be fair, Isaac ends up living a long time after this, but he calls to his son Esau, and he asks him to go hunt for some food and to make him his favorite dish. And Esau runs out to fulfill this request for his beloved father. And as he does this, his brother Jacob dresses up, pretending to be his brother, putting on goat skins, presents a meal to his father in order to steal the blessing that his father had intended for Esau. One brother sees their father dying, and he jumps up to make him happy, perhaps for the last time. The other brother sees the opportunity to secure his own future with the help of his father. When we look at our parents, we all see very different things. In preparation for the sermon this week, my brother Aaron and I read this portion along with an article by Rabbi Mike Cummins. Rabbi Cummins, like Jacob and Esau, watched his own father decline. Like my brother and I, he watched his father suffer from Alzheimer's disease. For Rabbi Cummins, it brought him to the story of Jacob and Esau. He saw the story as one about Isaac coping. The rabbi asks, would he really have been deceived by a goat skin? Or did he have his own agenda? Perhaps Isaac gave each son exactly what he wanted to give them. It was not about a favored son losing out or the second-born son stealing from their blind father. There was something Isaac wanted for both boys, a future that he imagined both of them could fulfill and embrace. Rabbi Cummins reflected on his own father's struggles and came to see his father as different than he always thought he had been. There was far more that they shared, he realized, and that his father blessed him with the gifts that led to his adult life. But it was only in seeing his father struggle, seeing his deficits, that he realized where some of those lessons had come from. One has to wonder if Jacob and Esau ever had such a revelation. We know that they eventually make peace with one another, but in the end, what did they think of their father? As much as we wonder about whether or not Isaac knew who he was truly blessing, did Jacob and Esau wonder as well? As different as they were, did they come to different conclusions or the same? My brother and I are very different. Not quite Jacob and Esau, but we have different passions and interests and lives. While I am in many ways a near exact copy of my father, there is no feeling that one of us, my brother or I, are loved more than the other. It's easy for me to share my love of my father, and I suspect it is easy for him to do the same. Our shared interests, passions, hobbies, and even our sense of humor, not to mention a certain physical resemblance. That did most of the work for him. And at the same time, I know how much he loves my brother. I remember him once remarking how amazing it was that my brother got contact lenses. Bespectacled since childhood, my father, I'm sure, had numerous opportunities to try out contact lenses, but he never did. But when my brother decided that it was something that he wanted, he went out and he did it. And my father saw the entire thing with the most wonderful sense of admiration. And he encourages my brother in ways that I never have experienced. And now we, like Jacob and Esau, like Rabbi Cummins, are watching our father struggle. Rabbi Cummins saw something loving and inspiring in that struggle. He valued his father's independence, his determination, and importantly, his strength. Jacob and Esau watched their father struggle and did as we learned in the Torah. For my brother and I, we are still watching. As we talked, we shared some of the things that we learned. It's amazing how two brothers of the same father can be so different. Although in reality, the lessons may have not been that much different for he and I. But it is comforting to know that there are still more lessons from my father. Even if, as Rabbi Cummins found, they are ones we only learn in watching the struggle. There will come a time when my father cannot teach me anymore. But there is further comfort in knowing that there are lessons he did not teach me, but that he taught my brother. There is a saying that no two children have the same parent, nor do any students have the same teacher. So on this Shabbat, I suggest that may we, whoever teaches us, enjoy the blessings of those lessons and know that other lessons from our most beloved teachers are out there as well. Pirkei Avot, the wisdom of our ancestors, or more precisely, the wisdom of our fathers, reminds us who is wise, one who learns from everyone. And if we can achieve this, there may be lessons yet for us from those we thought had taught us everything. Shabbat Shalom. We turn now to the Aleinu, which can be found at the top of page 282. We are pleased to invite up Amy Goldberg to open up our ark, and if you are able, please rise.
Yes, at the top. I had to explain it to Mike too. We're good. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד אורץ, ומשל ביקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 284. For you spread out the heavens and establish the earth. Your majestic abode is in the heavens above, and your mighty presence is in the loftiest heights. You are our God, and there is none else. In truth, you are our sovereign without compare. As it is written in your Torah, know then this day and take it to heart, that Adonai is surely God in the heavens above and on the earth below. There is none else. We therefore hope in you, Adonai our God. May we soon behold the glory of your might, sweeping away the false gods of the earth, that idolatry be utterly destroyed, perfecting the world under the rule of God, that all humanity invoke your name, turning all the wicked of the earth toward you. Page 287. V'namar v'haya Adonai lamelech kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. You may be seated. Yeah. Did you put it? No. I'll do it. Okay. At this time, we think of those who have departed the earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. If you are online, please feel free to put the names of those you are thinking of at this time in the chat. Our community is remembering Suko Olenichek, Hank Froelich, Edna Bailey, Jenna Deborah Denif Cassell, Will Spiegelman, Leonard Fusari, James Holly, Ken Hecht, Roberta Small-Reish, Edward Gingold, Cookie Javinsky, Carl Weinberg, Al Grossman, Jeff Blank, Richie Zorn, and Catherine Linsky Foley. This week, we're commemorating the art sites of Paul Schumer, Bess Barber, Etta Goldstein, Michael Four, Maxwell Kahn, Helen Luxon, Isidore Pansky, Marion Goldzier, Seaman Kaplan, Max Garfinkel, Harry Grossman, Lucille Alexander, Charles Pollivy, Eugene Gabriel Rashetta, and Judson Reichman. If there are other names that you'd like to add to this list, please do so as my hand sweeps over you.
Marianne Bennett.
Gail.
Raymond Act.
For all those that we've named and for those whose names remain in our hearts, the Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon uvyomachon, uv'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yithalal shemei d'kudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nachamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya. V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ve'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav. Hu Ya'aseh Shalom. Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ve'imru Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all who mourn. And together we say, Amen. You may be seated. It is my pleasure to invite up Jay Goldberg to offer a few announcements.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Before I get to the official announcement, I just want to say two things. One, Rabbi Benjamin, your sermon tonight were clearly very intensely personal for you, but I want you to know it was intensely personal for all of us. So thank you very much for sharing that. And two, for those of you who are online, you can't see this. I said to my wife, Amy, earlier, it's the Friday after Thanksgiving. What kind of a turnout are we even going to have? Will we have a minyan? Hopefully. Well, just so you know, we have a double minyan. So good for everybody, and thank you, everyone, for coming. Again, as always, thank you, rabbis, for your inspiring service. Thank you, Amy, for helping me greet this evening. Appreciate that. Rosie, our live stream tech, appreciate that as well. We couldn't broadcast to the world without you. Our rabbis are sponsoring our Tagoneg outside in the hallway in celebration of their anniversary, so mazel tov. If you're interested in being a Torah chanter, please contact one of the rabbis or Marilyn Roberts, sitting right here. I know you should all rush up to her after. And if you're interested in being a live stream tech, please contact Michael Gordon. Again, for those of you who are here, challah, juice, and a little nosh, please pick it up in the lobby as you exit. For those of you online, sorry we can't get you anything, but you will have a Yisma Zoom afterwards. So please join us online, stay on, and schmooze a little bit. If you want to put in the Yisma Zoom in the future, please visit sinaireno.org/live for details on how to join us. Saturday mornings, 10 o'clock, Torah study. Rabbi Zober already gave it an amazing plug. And yeah, if you want to learn Genesis, no, not the Phil Collins Genesis, but Genesis from the Torah, please start to join us. And you don't have to leave for Exodus. You can actually stay for Exodus. For details, please. Please visit sinaireno.org. Hey, you laughed. Please visit sinaireno.org/Torah study. Couple upcoming events. November 18th through the 22nd of December, Social Action Committee is collecting coats, sweaters, gloves, scarves, warm clothing for residents at our place. Please bring your donations to Temple Sinai, and if you have questions, please contact Mary Cates at 415-630-3431. On the 4th of December, from 11 to 2, the North Tahoe Hebrew Congregation is celebrating its 20th anniversary. So RSVP details are in the announcement sheets. I am sure for those of you online, it's probably on our website somewhere, but if you have questions on how to join, please contact Mike in the office next week. Hanukkah celebrations. I know, it's hard to believe. Hanukkah is just around the corner. It's amazing. On the 8th of December at 4:15, there will be Torah for Tots Hanukkah edition in person here at Temple Sinai. The 18th through the 25th is Hanukkah, the first candle through the 8th candle. Amazing that Hanukkah ends on Christmas this year. It's about as late as it can go, I think, right? On the 22nd of December, we are having a Not Your Bubbies Hanukkah. So it's a cooking class with Chef Jane Townley, $10. Details will be coming soon, so watch our website for more details. The 23rd of December, Hanukkah Shabbat services. It'll be the 6th candle here at Temple Sinai. But before services, at 5:30, there's the Tot Hanukkah service in person and the Hanukkah potluck at 6 before joining our rabbis, both in the sanctuary as well as live streamed at 7:30 with the community menorah lighting followed by a bonfire. Okay, stand back. It gets a little hot. And the 25th, from 4 to 7, it's the community 8th night of Hanukkah celebration with a kosher Chinese dinner at Temple Emmanuel. RSVP is required. Please send an email to administrator@renoemmanuel.org for more details. Okay, just 2 more, I promise. Sinai Library, there is the Beyond Words Book Club. It's still accepting members and going strong. Please visit sinaireno.org/library for details. And finally, they have Restories, reaching out to homebound members by loaning and delivering books from our collection. Email sinaireno.library@gmail.com for more information. Thank you all very much for joining us, and Shabbat Shalom.
I also want to give out a plug. Temple Sinai, for all of our members and anybody in our conversion program also counts as a member. We have a Discord channel, and we have, for those of you who have not had the pleasure of using Discord, it's a way to chat with one another in a community in kind of our own closed chat space. One of the fun things that we can do on Discord, however, is we have things like a classified section. Let's see, Marilyn and I made Injera this morning together on video chat. That was a lot of fun. We've had some Q&As. There's an Ask the Rabbi section. And it's also a great way to chat with the other folks that you generally only get to see on Friday nights, or if you happen to be in the building at the same time. If you're interested, you can email me and I will get you all of the link information so that you can get onto our Discord. It is lively, and we have some really great questions coming into the Ask the Rabbi thread. So I'm excited about that as well. All right. Our final song can be found on page 330. Ki Eshmara Shabbat. I did Iraq at the beginning, and now I'm doing Baghdad. Yeah, it's pretty good. Ki Eshmara Shabbat El Yishmareni. Ki Eshmara Shabbat El Yishmareni. Oti leomead Beino Uveni. Oti leomead Beino Uveni. Ki Eshmara Shabbat El Yishmareni. Ki Eshmara Shabbat El Yishmareni. Oti leomead Beino Uveni. Oti leomead Beino Uveni. If you'd like to follow along with Kiddush, please turn all the way back to page 5. After services, if you are here in person, Rabbi Benjamin made some chocolate chip cookies. Please pick them up in the lobby. And please make sure that you don't eat or take off your mask until you're out of the building. I have long COVID, and I do not want to get COVID again. So I appreciate all of your efforts in mask wearing this evening and every time that you are in this building. Okay. Page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagan. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tefillah l'mikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Ki banu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim. V'Shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'beratzon hinachaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everyone. B'tei avon. Enjoy your cookies in the lobby.